Hello there. So it turns out that the UK has an ace up its sleeve in the Brexit negotiations. One Donald Trump. Senior UK Brexit officials and negotiators now believe that the US President's outspoken attacks on the European Union and the imposition of US tariffs on the bloc can only be good for the UK. The feeling is that this could force the EU to start compromising as they look to maybe get Brexit done and dusted rather than allowing it to develop into a crisis, while another crisis was fast brewing with the USA. But the EU will of course be concentrating on yet another crisis, the problem of the imminent collapse of the Merkel government, now that her Interior Minister Horst Seehofer has offered to resign from office and as leader of the Bavarian CSU party over the migration issue. This could take Germany right out of the leadership role in the EU, putting the skids under the shaky migration deal the EU recently cobbled together and increasing euroscepticism in the country with a strengthened AfD. As Sean O'Grady says in The Independent, a Eurosceptic Germany would make Brexit a bit of a sideshow, as Schengen and the freedom of movement began to close down. The irony, he says, would be that a reform of the EU to suit British tastes would be arriving at just the moment the UK would be heading out of the door. But I disagree. The more you look at it, the more you realise that the UK should not be embroiled in the EU at all, however it is reformed, as its long-term default position is always going to be total control. Anyway, we now have a third Brexit customs plan being issued by Number 10. This one is for the private perusal of ministers prior to their Chequers jaunt at the end of the week. Some commentators believe this document will be a sort of morphed amalgamation of the customs union that the Number 10 Europe man Ollie Robbins wants and the maximum facilitation or max fac that the David Davis side wants, with the weighting in favour of the softer Ollie Robbins proposal. There is also speculation that it will be a back the deal or leave the government by the back door type of one-way conversation at Chequers. Now, we've already had Jacob Rees-Mogg warning that Theresa May could split the party if she goes soft on her red lines, and that he and the members of the 60-strong Tory Eurosceptic European Research Group would vote down anything other than a clean Brexit. To which the Tory MP for Rutland and Melton, Sir Alan Duncan, replied by tweeting that Rees-Mogg's insolence in lecturing and threatening the PM is just too much. And my local Tory MP for North Dorset, Simon Hoare, tweeted that the hectoring stroke blackmail has to stop. To which the Scottish Tory MP Paul Masterton replied, "Well said," and many others retweeted it. Others joined in too and ganged up on the Mogster, with Nicholas Soames telling him via Twitter to shut up and put a sock in it, and Sarah Wollaston and Richard Harrington also put their oars in. Is this a sign that the more Remain-minded Tory MPs are coming out to try and soften the whole Brexit message before Friday? Is this their concerted attempt to try and bring the Brexiteers to heel and keep the party and government together? Have they all been briefed that it's either this deal or nothing? We'll have to wait and see, I suppose. But the Mirror does report that supporters of the Mogster have piled up a war chest of believed to be £750,000 to replace May. Let battle commence. Now, if The Guardian is right, that third draft customs proposal has already been seen and rejected by senior EU officials who said that when they read it they saw cake, a reference to Boris Johnson's having cake and eating it comment that has now made it into the EU phrasebook where cake means any fanciful demand. But if they do water it down, as far as I'm concerned, it will be a massive rejection of the EU referendum result. Anything less than an obvious clean break is not the full withdrawal of the UK from the EU. It is not a proper fuck EU. However, there is a 2-page letter in the form of photo images circulating the web purporting to be from the Prime Minister to her cabinet colleagues, dated 29th of June 2018, marked "Full Cabinet, Eyes Only Communication." This letter says that she proposes making a statement after the next weekly cabinet meeting on Thursday the 5th of July, the day before the Chequers away day, on offering the public a second referendum on the final deal in October with an option to remain in the EU on current terms. There is a link to this letter in the description box below the video and in the pinned comment. The letter talks in detail about lost tax revenue and that the EU is progressing with preparations for a hard Brexit with no deal, as well as talk about the transition phase no longer being an option. And with a large part of the letter really being about saving face of the party, the government and cabinet ministers. Therefore, the following proposal should be a method of our protecting the people of the United Kingdom that we serve, protecting our economy, and maintaining a way out for both those in the Cabinet who wish to leave the European Union and those that wish to remain, says the letter. But before anyone gets too hot under the collar, the letter is dated the 29th of June and was posted on Kipper Central the day before on the 28th of June. So most people do think it's a spoof, and quite a good one at that, or even a method of getting the PM to deny anything of the sort. However, those involved say that they received this letter in good faith from a very trusted source. I'll let you read it and decide for yourselves. So, David Cameron did ask Barack Obama to warn the UK public that Brexit would put us at the back of the queue with the US, reports the Daily Mail. A former White House staffer, Ben Rhodes, admitted today that the back of the queue term, as opposed to the usual USA way of saying it, back of the line, had been used in private talks in 2016, and Obama was asked to make the point in a press conference, with the staffer saying that Obama replied that he would, as he was there to be helpful. As the UKIP former leader Nigel Farage tweeted about Cameron's role here, "Shameful. Thank God he and Osborne have gone." Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's using the entire might of the US economy to try and sway the UK voters. Now put that on the EU referendum Remain side's expenses claim. One by one, the Remain claims of impending doom and all this input from external sources are unravelling, and the real casualty here is the truth. So, please let us all know what you think by leaving a comment below. Thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.